What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Blue J Tay, and I am back again with another one, man. Take your time. The more that you try to rush life and what God has in store for you, the more that you'll fall short. So, whatever you're doing right now, whatever you're working on, whatever you're building, really just take the time to take a step back and slow things down. When you finally get in this habit of learning how to take your time when it comes to the things that you're doing and you're working on in your life, you allow yourself to better enjoy the process. You allow yourself to take in each and every day that comes with you working towards building that future that you may want for yourself. The lessons that you learn from not having things go your way and taking all of those things in and using it to help you succeed the next day. Because I don't know about y'all, but with me, I often get discouraged if I may not see the results that I want to see firsthand, or if they take a little longer than usual. It'll just make me feel like the work that I'm putting in isn't paying off. But you, out of all people, have to be the one to see it through. You, out of all people, have to be the one that realizes what's done in the dark will come to light. The work that you're putting in and day out, that may seem like you're not getting any recognition for, that may seem like it's not paying off. Each of those days, in due time, you'll get credit for. And what this boils down to me is just having a sense of integrity when it comes to your life. Just doing the things that you know you should be doing without having to be told to. Because you understand in the long run it'll pay off. But if you've been pushing yourself and you've been working real hard towards your dreams, I know that you know it's easy for you to get to this point mentally where you may feel overwhelmed or you lose a sense of confidence not knowing whether or not something's going to work out. And that's why I really want you to take your time. Take your time to understand what's really going on. Understanding that right now you're working towards something that's much greater than anything you probably worked towards in your life. And the result of you persisting and getting through this feeling is going to be worth it in the long run. But just slowing things down, taking in things for what they are, will ultimately just put you in a way better headspace to deal with whatever it is to come. But when you're constantly rushing and you're constantly trying to see the end goal way sooner than you should, you're going to live with the regret of these rushed results. Because when you're rushing, you're not practicing quality, more than likely. You're just trying to get something done, or you're trying to get to a certain point where things may seem good, but it's never going to be good. It's never going to be your best work if you have to rush through it. Then it's going to be you stuck there living with the result of the poor work that you've put in or the poor amount of effort. And I've made videos on my channel about this previously, how it's better to not spread yourself thin. It's better to put your focus on something 100% rather than doing 10 different things and just selling yourself short in a sense. Really just taking in and understanding that slow motion is better than no motion. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have all the pieces to the puzzle, but as long as you have enough resources available in order to make something happen, then that's all you need. Take those baby steps. Take your time. Really just work through the hardships, work through that feeling of not knowing how something may go until you get to that point where you want to be. But one thing you have to do is always keep it moving. You always have to keep your plans and what you have going for yourself in motion. Never stop. Never get to this point where you're stagnant and you're just kind of easing up and not moving. And just to clarify, when I say take your time, like I said before, I don't mean that you should stop doing what you're doing. I don't mean that you should stop putting in that work and making things happen. I just mean that it's okay to ease up sometimes and really just take a step back and realize what you have going on. Realize how far you've came so far. Realize all the work that you've put in to get to this point, and focus more on quality rather than quantity. And what we don't often realize is that once you get so deep in the grind, you don't realize that you eventually get so locked in that you can kind of easily just fall off track because you're focusing more on just pushing a certain image or pushing whatever it is that you have going on, to the point where you're focusing less and less on quality and you're just trying to get things out. You cannot rush the process. The best thing that you could do for yourself right now is understand what direction you're headed in and stand locked in on that. But just trying to get to this point of success way sooner than you should is only just going to set you back. And I don't mean you shouldn't be grinding. I don't mean that you shouldn't be working hard. But I definitely mean, more than anything, you should be focusing on the product and how people react to it rather than everything else. It's so easy to get caught up in this feeling of, oh, I'm working hard and I'm taking care of everything that I need to. But are you actually seeing results? Are you actually seeing the results that you would want to see? Are you making sufficient progress that's worthwhile and something that's actually going to benefit you in the long run? If you do not have a properly built foundation, at some point, you're going to have to go back and reassess all of that previous work that you've done. But don't let this feeling or this idea of getting the minimum results discourage you, because you're not always going to just get the results that you want. You're not always just going to just jump in a position where you want to start or build something and succeed right away. But this feeling of failure that you experience, you just have to understand how to persist and get through it, because that's the only way that you're going to succeed in the long run. But when you're constantly just rushing through life, it's easier for you to experience burnout. And a lot of the times we do not have the time or energy to sacrifice anything. We cannot face this form of burnout when people are relying on us. A lot of y'all got families, a lot of y'all got kids, and even if you don't have kids, yourself, somebody that you got to constantly be there for. And if you face with this burnout and you don't have the mental capacity or the headspace to even go out and work on the things that you need to work on, you're going to be stuck in this position where you're not making no progress. And the only way to avoid this is really just taking a step back and taking your time. Taking in life for what it is. Taking in your journey for what it is. Before I'll start anything in my life, I look at the pros and cons of both. I look at the good and the bad in each type of scenario that I may be faced with, so that I know what to expect and I know what's to come when I decide to start. And if you don't do things like this, you'll be shocked or you'll be overwhelmed whenever some type of hard shit may come up. You may not know how to deal with it. I feel like it's very important that we properly plan out and we assess the career choices that we make, and not only that, but the decisions that we make on the daily basis, because you have to be prepared for these things. You have to be prepared for whatever life throws at you, whether it's good or bad, because there's plenty of people who do not know how to deal with this form of success. There's plenty of people who say they want something, but when they get it, they do not know how to deal with this overbearing feeling of that, just the success that they may have encountered. I feel like there's going to be always some type of negatives, even in the good things that you may want out of life. You just have to take in and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is this something that I'm actually able to deal with? Is this something that I actually want to live with long term? Because once you get it, it might be very hard for you to play yourself out of that position. Your time is coming. Everything that you want, it will come in due time. Right now is the time to take in all the support that you have. Recognize everybody that's there for you. Family, friends, whoever the case may be, and really just appreciate that. So really just be more appreciative of what you have in your life. Be more appreciative of your journey and the struggles that come with your journey, because ultimately it's just going to turn you into a better version of yourself. We do not have the time to continuously waste putting in half effort and not getting the results that we want. And this is exactly what happens when you rush through something. But if you don't do that, then you will always end up, with the short end of the stick. You will always end up missing out or without something. But if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you so much. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Blue J Tay, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.